Okay, so today we're going to be talking about mid-game from farming, because last time we talked about early game and we got over that we just need to start slow, get a pumpkin farm, and try your best to get your first medal. Once you get your first medal and start collecting more medals, that's when I believe that you will be considered mid-game farming, and that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to assume that by this time, you have collected maybe one, two, maybe even three gold medals, and you're already farming your favorite crop, I guess. But for mid game, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, I guess, because you're gonna need a few things. Mid game is where you want to aim for a pet. So for now, if you want, a rabbit pet will do just fine, because let me go to legendary. I don't know why I went here. Does epic work? Yeah, just an epic rabbit pet will give you your farming XP boost, which is what you're after. You don't need a legendary, but if you want efficient farming, then I guess. But it's not necessary unless you have farming minions. But you just need farming XP boost, so epic will do just fine. And it only costs about 100k coins. No more than 150 though. Anything above 150, try not to purchase because these ones are able. So just try to pick that up. And once you're grinding levels and you eventually have enough money, you're going to want to go for an elephant pet right here. This time, you need it to be legendary. And as you can see, it's not cheap. For level 27, you're getting 16.5 mil. For level 100, you're looking at 20 plus mil. Yeah, a little above 20 mil. So those are going to be the things you're going to be needing eventually as you progress through farming. But the next farm for mid game is literally the farm you should be making after early game, and that is sugarcane. Now, sugarcane, it doesn't give as much XP as pumpkins, but you will be making so much more money. Because sugarcane, for each sugarcane you're breaking, you're technically breaking two. Now, let me go grab a bucket. And where'd I keep my bucket? But let me just grab the bucket and show you what I mean, because it's very important to know this, because some people don't like sugarcane farms just because it's very difficult to make, or more annoying than difficult actually. So let's put that there, and there's gonna be water flow in my island for a little bit. Grab some sugarcane, and right here, you're gonna be breaking this stem right here, this block, and it's gonna break this one at the same time. So if you have your cane hoe, if you decided to choose cane, then it collects both. I believe you get the XP for both, and you get the drops in your inventory for both items. Now another item that's really good for farming is a personal compactor, because you're going to be getting drops in your inventory. So you can put enchanted cactus here, not enchanted cactus. I just saw cactus and said cactus. Enchanted sugarcane, and it will auto craft enchanted sugarcane for you. So that's really convenient. But of course, you're gonna need to grind for the collection, because Enchanted Sugarcane is literally after you farmed at least 20,000 sugarcane, but it doesn't hurt to start now. It's really simple to make. It's just 2.5 stacks of enchanted sugar. But this is going to be the whole farm. It's very similar to pumpkins, except you're only going to have a 1 gap for water, because water can cover both sides. And you're going to, of course, have your little 2 gap, same as pumpkins, just so you can have the most out of this farm. Literally same thing. You look up at the second one, the second block right here, stay diagonal, hold left click. When you're done with that row, just go around, hold left click. And that's pretty much the whole thing you have to do with farming. It's literally just you holding left click for however long you want. Now another farm that is pretty good as well, I would say, is carrots. Because for some reason carrots make a lot of money. Probably because people need them to make XP candies. And you can have the choice of either selling it as enchanted carrots or enchanted golden carrots. It's really up to you. I personally just kept selling it as enchanted carrots because I was lazy to craft. And I was getting a lot of drops. Like when I mean a lot of drops, this my inventory was full. Before I had the enchanted sack, this was full, and I had 80,000. My storages were full, at least the first 2 pages, because the third page didn't really have enough space for anything. And yeah, that was 3 layers. Everything was getting full, and the more I had to farm, and the more XP I got, the more drops I was getting, and eventually I had to actually put a chest down there just so I can have storage. So that's why carrots is good. The prices may not look too appealing, but you're going to be getting a lot of drops, especially with your farming fortune. Because carrots already drop a few carrots to start with. You're not just going to get 1 carrot. So if you can get farming fortune on your carrot hoe, and at the same time get like turbo carrot, cultivating, harvesting, replenish, because replenish is the big one. If you don't have replenish when making or when farming carrots, then it's going to be very difficult for you because you're going to have to replant the whole farm. So replenish is good. It's actually a must because you're going to need the same thing for potato. You're going to need the same thing for nether warts. You're going to need the same thing for wheat. Basically any of the hoes and cocoa beans. Because cocoa beans, I would still say it's pretty good because you get a lot of drops. Same thing as the carrots, you're going to be getting a lot of drops. And it's relatively easy to farm too. You just look up, if I don't lag, and you just break it. As you can see, very consistent. Of course, you can up your speed if you want to, but as you can see, I got almost all the drops, just a few. But by the time, if you make this kind of farm, by the time you finish both sides, because this is front and back, the top part will most likely be fully grown already, or almost fully grown. So you can pretty much farm this infinitely. But you're going to need replenish, because that's probably the most important enchantment you need if you're going to be farming crops you actually have to break. Sugarcane is an exception because you're only breaking the top one, or a little bit above the bottom one. Pumpkins, they grow on their own. melons, they grow on their own. And yeah, that's pretty much the farms you want to go for. Well, you want to go for netherwarts also, if you don't really care about farming XP anymore, because netherwarts, I believe, does make a lot more than sugarcane, but you don't get farming XP, you'll be getting alchemy, right? Alchemy, right? Yeah, alchemy. So if you want alchemy, go for netherwarts. It's actually not a bad source to get alchemy XP. It's only 1.2, but you're gonna be farming so much that it's not really gonna matter. That will keep going up the more you break. And I have a 25 million counter on it. So this is basically mid game. You want to be aiming for your pets because that's the big one. If you can't get an elephant pet by the time you're in mid game or during your mid game stage of farming, then you're just gonna be stuck in mid game. Because late game, you are definitely gonna need an elephant pet. And as an added bonus, I would say try to get started on a decently sized cactus farm. And this is because cactus farms are insanely broken. Because they just work. You can be farming netherwort, sugarcane, pumpkins, all at the same time, and that will farm for you. Because they're insta breaking, they're insta collecting, insta smelting, so you don't have to worry about it. All you really have to do is collect it eventually. So, if you can, try to spare some time making a decently sized cactus farm, kind of like mine. I would consider this decent because I'm planning to stack it all the way to world height. But if not, then this is going to be a relatively small farm. And the reason I want to recommend this to you is because if we go to cactus, enchanted cactus, I have only a little over 2 stacks of enchanted cactus. And it sells for almost 24 million coins. Just from cactus. 24 million coins from a little over 2 stacks of enchanted cactus. Now imagine like all the stacks of crops you're gonna be getting from all sugarcane, warts, and pumpkins. Only one stack will give you only one stack of cactus will give you 10 mil plus. And that's really good because you're not doing anything. Every once in a while you're just gonna be upping a layer, building another layer, and well, the farm will work on its own. Make a little water system down here, a little storage system, and as you can see, it will just collect for you. Make a hopper system that auto smelts too, and then have some fuel here. Have a storage system relatively large so you don't have to collect as often, and you'll be good. But that's basically the mid game stage. You want to have your tools already. You want to try to get your hands on an elephant pet, and if you want, you need to try to build a cactus farm. Of course, this part is not like mandatory, but I would 100% recommend it only because you don't have to do anything to farm that. You just have to build it. It's really easy to build because once you're done with the first layer, it's pretty much following a pattern. So for now, I'll end it here, and hopefully this helped out, like farms to choose to make for mid game if you already have enough gold medals, and my little extra recommendation for cactus farm because I don't think other people actually recommend cactus farms, but it's just as tedious as making a sugarcane farm, especially if you're making a few layers, which is worse than a cactus farm in my opinion. So go ahead, try out a cactus farm if you're a mid-game player, and hopefully you enjoy it. But for now, I'll end it here, and hopefully this helped.